When I take that locking nut off and take the stuffing box apart, back it off the flange, there's no water coming through at the shaft, which there should be, so I gotta figure out why.
Look at those hands. Sheesh.
So we gotta know why. After spending 8 incredible years living and cruising aboard my DeFever 44, I thought my life had peaked. But little did I know that I was about to enter into the most significant and fulfilling period of my existence. Jennifer and Hunter entered my life, and together we entered into a new era, an era known as the Great Epoch.
Welcome aboard as we introduce you to our new vessel, a 1972 42-foot Bristol Offshore Trawler. Just when you thought the boat life was over, we will be bringing you even more content, including tours, boat handling, maintenance, and family-friendly adventures. Like, subscribe, and follow along as we share in these epic experiences with you.
Today is Survey and Seatrial Day of this beautiful 1972 Bristol Offshore Trawler named Miss Barbara. Arranging a survey and sea trial is crucial to the boat buying process. This is when you remove your rose-colored glasses and find out what issues exist with the vessel that could play a significant role in your decision to accept or reject the boat. You can also use the findings to negotiate the final purchase price.
We arrived promptly for the survey and sea trial on a wet and sticky Florida summer morning. The boat was located behind the seller's house in St. Pete Beach, and that is where the surveyor met with us to get things started. It is the buyer's responsibility to arrange and pay for the survey and haul out of the vessel. This can be a challenging time since you need to coordinate schedules for yourself, the seller, the surveyor, and the boatyard, and then hopefully the weather cooperates as well. The survey starts before we leave the dock, beginning with the inspection of every nook and cranny in the vessel. The weather started out rough, but cleared out just as we left the dock for the sea trial and made our way to Snug Harbor about an hour and a half away, where the out-of-water survey was conducted. It was a great time to get acquainted with the operations of the boat and enjoy some time out on the water. When someone hears sea trial, they might think you're going to take the boat out in 4 to 6 foot waves to see how it performs. But actually, you want pleasant conditions so that you can get through all of the tests without beating up the boat and everyone on board. While we are enjoying our time, the surveyor continues to work through the vessel. Here you see he is tapping the decks and superstructure looking for soft spots and moisture, listening for the changes in the sound that reveal hidden rot, delamination, or water intrusion beneath the surface.
Aside from making sure all of the onboard systems are serviceable, a very important part of the sea trial is running the boat at various RPMs, including wide open throttle to make sure engine temperatures remain within limits and no major failures occur. You also want to make sure the engines reach their rated RPMs. The boat performed great, and there were only 2 issues that stood out to me. One was a pretty good oil leak from the throttle governor on the port engine, and the other was an overheating prop shaft stuffing box. With the sea trial portion of the trip finished, it's time to pull into the gantry at Snug Harbor in Madeira Beach to be hauled out for the second half of the survey. We want to thank Craig at Snug Harbor for being flexible with the haul out and the marine specialist for being so easy to work with on the survey. I actually used the marine specialist almost 14 years ago for the survey of my Californian motor yacht. The surveyor first sounds the hull with a special hammer to look for any structural issues with the fiberglass. They will then look at the props, shafts, rudders, cutlass bearings, and through-hull fittings for any noticeable damage or wear. After a short stay in the travel lift slings, it was time to splash back in the water and return to the seller's slip. And as serendipity would have it, Jennifer noticed a familiar name on a fishing vessel docked at Snug Harbor, the Michelle Marie, which was the same name as Jennifer's late mother, who at one time dated a local fisherman. Coincidentally enough, the vessel was a Thompson, which was also Jennifer's mother's last name. Whether it was a coincidence or not, that definitely put a nostalgic bow on a special day. On the way back, I let the broker, Roger Cole with United Yacht Sales, know that everything went well with the survey. It's always a good feeling for the buyer and seller to get through a successful survey and sea trial day. Within a few days of the survey, we received the full report from the surveyor describing all of the findings on board and an overall rating of the vessel. This is subsequently used for obtaining insurance, financing, and finalizing the purchase of the boat.
Alright, so one of the issues that was easily discovered during the sea trial is the stuffing box on the starboard side was overheating. So that is not good. These are traditional stuffing boxes, which is common on an older boat like this, and really a lot of people prefer the traditional stuffing boxes. And what they are is they essentially provide the lubrication and water tightness of the prop shaft entering into the boat. So the shaft comes through a shaft log, which in this case is a rubber hose, and then it attaches to a stuffing box, which is essentially a big nut that has packing material in there, and then there's a locking nut. So when you tighten down that main nut with the packing material in there, that locking nut keeps it from backing off when you are going into forward and reverse and vibrations and all that stuff. So water naturally comes in to the boat through that shaft log and lubricates the packing material in there. So it keeps it nice and cool. And typically you want to stay no more than 20 to 30 degrees above ambient water temperature when you take the temperature of the stuffing box. And this one was going over 200, close to 300 degrees, so that is definitely not good. And I saw no water dripping out of that stuffing box. There should be at least a drip every minute coming out of that stuffing box, and there's none. When I take that locking nut off and take the stuffing box apart, back it off the flange, there's no water coming through at the shaft, which there should be. So I gotta figure out why. I might have to clean out around there.
On the starboard side.
Starboard side. This was the side that was heating up to too high of a temperature when we were underway. But I was able to get some packing out. So this is the flax packing. This is, I think it's graphite material that they used. But zero water coming through to lubricate it. So
Look at those hands. Sheesh.
So we're gonna know why.
Go ahead and bump it just into gear and back out of gear real quick.
In an effort to encourage some ingress of water, I had Jennifer put the engine in and out of gear both in forward and reverse while the stuffing box was open. Thankfully this worked, but there still was not a sufficient amount of water for proper lubrication and coolant. Stay tuned for more on this topic.
Alright, this time leave it in gear for like 10 seconds.
Join us next time as we move motor vessel Epic for the first time on our own and find out if I was able to fix the stuffing box issue. Oh, and of course we'll follow through with a thorough tour of the boat. If these videos are enjoyable, helpful, or inspiring to make your boat dreams come true and to get you out on the water, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And also make sure to check out our new website at thegreatepoch.com. Thirst Trap Thursday on Motor Vessel Epic. It's high tide and you ride.